Cypress Medicine Hat?
Yep. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. I rise today to address the bill before the House, the Voluntary Blood Donations Act. I'm astounded by the sheer ignorance of the bill compared to the realities of blood donation. Madam Chair, blood donations, of course, are a matter of life and death, and we should be pursuing every avenue available to secure a healthy, safe supply for Albertans in need. And in addition to ensuring this supply, to develop a supply for vital pharmaceutical resources. Madam Chair, we do collect enough blood under our voluntary system in Canada for transfusion needs, but we do not collect enough for plasma protein products. And Madam Chair, these products also save lives. Canadian Blood Services, the agency tasked with procurement and distribution of blood products, purchases plasma protein products like IVIG, albumin, and various coagulation factors from the United States and Europe. Madam Chair, I'll say it again. Canadian Blood Services purchases plasma protein products. In 2012, Canadian Blood Services and Hema-Quebec purchased $630 million of plasma products from the United States and Europe. $630 million in 2012. Only to increase in 2013 to $670 million of plasma protein products purchased from the United States and Europe. Madam Chair, every year these numbers increase, year after year. And of course, the reason that we are forced to purchase these products is because the current voluntary system has resulted in shortage. Canada's volunteer-only donation system does not have the donor base to support our demand. And I say this, and I want to give a shout out to Medicine Hat. Medicine Hat, the Canadian Blood Service, shows up about every 2 months. It is very, very well supported by our citizens, supported by our media personnel, who so many of them volunteer their time and come out and spread the word and get the word through their media. And I know so many people that when I talk to them and they've donated for the 60th time or the 80th time, it's overwhelming. You're up there? It's 48? Yeah, it's good for you. Thank you. And it's fantastic. But Madam Chair, I bring this up for a couple of reasons. Here we have a lot of good Albertans doing all they can when they can. And it's a sacrifice to give blood that for a large part of us is overwhelmed by our desire to help fellow Albertans, fellow Canadians, and fellow human beings. But it takes time. It means a day or so of a different diet and maybe a lighter exercise period day. It's a sacrifice. So, and again, it's a lot of volunteers and a lot of people doing it, and we are not meeting our need. Over the last decade, Madam Chair, Canadian Blood Services has seen a rise in the usage of IVIG, one of the plasma products, of 6 to 8% each year. And as a matter of fact, Canada is already the largest per capita user of IVIG in the world. What is also interesting to me is that the proponents of banning the purchase of blood often cite things like safety reasons, ignoring the fact that even if we are not purchasing blood from Albertans, we are still inevitably and obviously purchasing blood from countries where most of the plasma protein products are purchased from countries that allow paid plasma donations. I think in Alberta alone, Alberta Health Services and Alberta Health was $200 million last year of purchasing plasma products from the United States, where in the United States they pay people to donate blood. In fact, no country in the world has been able to meet their need for plasma with solely volunteer model. No country in the world has been able to do this. according to a joint March 2013 presentation by Health Canada and Canadian Blood Services. This was announced or talked about at a roundtable discussion addressing the topic. Madam Chair, yet another concern, often cited by opponents of the plate plasma donation model, is a concern that paying donors will decrease the number of individuals who voluntarily donate blood. Madam Chair, only about 3% of eligible Canadians donate blood now publicly. And that's in spite of the fact of all the publicity, all this strong effort by volunteers, all the strong efforts by those that have time and have the health and have the ability to do it. We just can't meet our needs. And we are paying citizens of other countries to do this for us. According to a 2014 projection by the CEO of the Canadian Plasma Resources, Basrin Bahardo, quote, before the end of the decade, we will be spending over $1 billion a year on plasma protein products as a country. We will be sending $1 billion, $1 billion Canadian dollars out of Canada to the United States and Europe, where they pay for blood donors. The CEO went on to quote exactly that. This money will all go outside the country. Madam Chair, by maintaining the voluntary system while offering tax receipts or a cash incentive, all Canadians, regardless of income level, are incentivized to donate blood more proactively. These procedures are harmless and they save lives. There is not ethical consideration more important. There's nothing more important than ensuring life-saving treatments are available to sick children or adults. Canadian Blood Services has said in the past that it's possible to maintain both systems, noting the experiences of other countries suggest both paid and voluntary plasma donations can safely coexist. You know, my guess, Madam Chair, is it may actually raise the amount of voluntary blood donations as more Canadians get involved, as the awareness level raises. And how good would that be if we can pull our share in the world? Now we are being asked to support a plan that would see Canadian Blood Services reach 50% of our pharmaceutical needs by 2024. But that is a very slow rate of progress. Other provinces are opening the door to another avenue for collecting plasma products, and we should keep that door open in Alberta too. Madam Chair, I want to read that again. Other provinces are opening their door to another avenue for collecting plasma products, and we should keep that door open in Alberta too. But I believe the NDP is doing right now what we've seen consistently for 2 years. Of course, we're hearing about companies, private companies that want to set this up in an effort to increase our supply and help Canadians. So here we are, a government slamming the door on some innovation, slamming the door on increasing supply from Albertans and Canadians, but not really. It doesn't preclude Canadian blood supply from doing it. It doesn't preclude BC or Saskatchewan or Ontario or Nova Scotia or anywhere else in Canada for paying for blood collection. And again, I think the number was 200 million last year that our hard-earned tax dollars left the jurisdiction to Montana, to Texas, to Louisiana, wherever the states are that pay for it, that pay Americans for blood collection. So I'm against this bill, Madam Chair. Again, we're being hypocritical, we're being ideological, we're getting in the way of a solution, and kids, old people, and Albertans are going to suffer. Thank you, Madam Chair.